and welcome to our program, Where God Weeps, a program where we talk about the situation of the suffering church around the world. Today, it is my great privilege to welcome Bishop John Tong of Hong Kong, a place, as it is said, where East meets West. 5% of Hong Kong residents are Catholic, and this number, under his leadership, is growing. Bishop John Tong is also a member of the Vatican Commission on China, and, as he says, the relations with the government in China are warm and open, but he will not sacrifice what he calls the bottom line. To tell us more, it is my great privilege to welcome His Excellency Bishop John Tong. Your Excellency, thank you for being with us here today on our program.
I'm happy to be with you. Yeah.
Your Excellency, you were born in Hong Kong, but you soon moved to China.
Yeah, because Japanese invaded Hong Kong.
Can you tell us, in this time, your family was not a Christian family.
No.
You were not a Catholic family.
No.
How was it that you came to the Catholic faith in communist China?
You know, my mother, studied in the high school run by the Canossian sisters in Hong Kong. And she told me that one day when the nuncio of China, the Archbishop Zenling, visited Hong Kong and her school, her alma mater, and out of her expectation, she was chosen by the principal, Sister Mabel or Mother Mabel, to present flowers to the nuncio. So she was very proud to be chosen. So it gave her a very good impression. Therefore, she also, in order to honor the sister, and she changed her name into Mabel also. So beforehand, she get another name, but later on. But she didn't, believe in Catholic faith until she also has undergone the hardship, difficult life during the war. So after the war, when the war finished, she decided to join the Catholic Church.
So she was the first to convert.
Exactly, very soon, She brought us to join the church.
Little by little, the family followed.
We all were baptized in Guangzhou, Canton City. Because I think that's the reason. The faith was planted when she studied in high school.
One inspiration to your own vocation was one such missionary. Is that correct?
You know, after the Second World War, very soon, the nationalists and communists started to fight against each other because we live very close to the mission chapel, the church. Therefore, we were very close to the church and also to the priests. And I saw every day many refugees and also wounded soldiers gather around the church, requesting foods, money, or any help. And the pastor was American missionary, Mary Nora, and he was very filled with he was filled with love, Christ's love, taught everybody.
And
so that was the inspiration I got from his good example. And so as a young boy, I said that I told myself, that I would like to become like him in the future when I will grow up. But very soon in 1951, foreign missionaries were expelled. Were all expelled. And so the church in China, the church in Guangzhou, many Catholics told us we better leave China. And also, if we introduce you as altar boys to join the seminary, it would be good because at that time, of course, I did not have enough mature, idea about the priesthood. But because the good example of the pastor, the missionary, already planted seed of vocations in my heart, and plus the difficult situations. So my parents agree very easily. Said, "Why not? I mean, you can leave China and go ahead." So then, of course, slowly, and
you followed your vocation.
Follow my vocation, and then I deepened my vocations. That's the.
You are now the Bishop of Hong Kong.
Yes.
And you are still focused on evangelization. This is for you critical.
Yeah.
And you have chosen two symbols to represent your work in evangelization. One is a water reservoir, and the other one is the washing of hands. Why are these two symbols so important for you for the work in evangelization? Or what do these symbols mean?
First, in Hong Kong, in the old days, we need a reservoir because to get enough water for drinking, for washing. So reservoir is very important for our life. And there's one Chinese proverb that unless the water is running, otherwise this would become a dead water. It would not be useful. So meaning in the reservoir, we use the reservoir to receive water. But at the same time, the water also should go out to be received by the people. Otherwise, if we always keep the water in the reservoir, then the water could not be used anymore.
And
after
it will
a while.
become dead. It will become dead.
Exactly.
And what about the washing of hands?
So that's the reason why if we receive our faith, applying to the evangelization, if we receive our faith, we have to share with others, and then by sharing with others, our faith would be deepened. So that's the case. And about washing hands also, that's a mutuality. It shows that reciprocal. Every time, like the case when I doing my bridge work for the church in China, on one hand, we are helping the church in China, in many things. Like we offer them the Vatican II new ideas for them after reopening. But at the same time, when we paying visit to them, encouraging them, helping them for revival, to restore their church. But at the same time, we learn a lot from them, because they also share their faith, how they facing the difficulties, hard time, they still can survive.
And this is a sign for the church.
And also under the restrictions, they can still witness their faith. So we can learn from the church in China. On the other hand, so that's the reason why. Just like washing hands, on one hand we are helping them, while on the other hand they're helping us. So that's the
symbol.
The symbol, correct.
Your Excellency, evangelization has been growing wonderfully in Hong Kong. Last year, or over the previous years, you've had about 2,000 adult conversions. And this year, I think it's over 3,000 adult conversions. What is it that is provoking such a positive response among the adults in Hong Kong?
I think, of course, conversions always depends on the Holy Spirit, on God's grace. Yeah, only no matter how great efforts, yeah, we do. I mean, without God's grace, yeah, the people will not open their hearts. Yeah, that's first things I should thank God. Secondly, God always use us, like to use us as instruments of evangelization. Therefore, we should try to do our best. Yeah, in the past, particularly in last year's Christmas pastoral letter, I told my people, my Catholics, that I have 4 dreams.
Please tell us.
Yeah. First is about evangelization. So we hope that the number of converts, number of baptisms in our diocese will be increasing. Yeah. So that's the number one. And I can tell you very happily that this coming Easter Vigil, we will have 3,400. So it's more, almost 400 more than last year. Last year we had only about 3,040.
And this is only adults.
Adults.
This is only adults, not considering the children.
Yeah, without counting children. Normally, the same number.
So you have about 6,000.
And babies, yeah. Second is the vocation, yeah. The number of vocations still far from ideal. We need, of course, Catholics to have a missionary mentality, but at the same time, we need also priests, yeah, to lead and also instruct the Catholics, yeah, to do our missionary work. And the third is about caring about those Catholics of other nationalities in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a cosmopolitan city. Besides 350,000 Chinese Catholics, yeah, we have also 180,000 Catholics of other nationalities. Yeah. 2/3 of them are Filipinos, yeah, working in Hong Kong as domestic helpers. And then the fourth play a bridge role for the Catholic Church in China.
I want to talk about this question because you described the church in Hong Kong as a sister church, as a bridge, yes, to China. Mm-hmm. What do you mean by this? How do you see the role of Hong Kong Catholics with their Chinese brothers and sisters?
Cardinal Wu always mentioned that because of our language, because of our blood, we are of the same nationality. Therefore, we should, if all the Catholics show their concern for the church in China, and we should do more because of our near proximity, geographical proximity to the church in China, and because of our cultural proximity and all these things. So we should do more. That's the reason why we said that we should be a bridge church. But to put it in a more concrete way, what would be the role of the bridge church? That means to the situation in the distance between the underground church and also and even sometimes there's some conflicts between the underground church and open church. Therefore, the goal of our bridge role is to try to promote reconciliation among those different groups inside China, in the church in China, and also try to promote full communion between the church in China with and also the universal church, the reconciliation, full communion with Holy Father. That's the goal of our bridge role.
Now this is a huge
Yes,
undertaking.
of course, is
huge
a
undertaking.
big project.
A big project.
Exactly.
I understand.
Of course, we should join efforts. Yeah.
I've read that in China, over 85% of the bishops, the Catholic bishops, are reconciled with Rome. That means that they have come to recognize the authority of the Holy Father.
Yes.
But at the same time, the Chinese government has, for example, recently with the Open Church, illicitly ordained bishops expressly against the wishes of the Holy Father. What signal is this from the Chinese government to the Catholic Church in taking these kind of steps?
But I just would like to, before answering your questions, I would like to rectify one small figure you mentioned. Actually, is over 90% of the bishops
are reconciled with Rome.
In communion with Rome, because there are nowadays about 115 bishops in China, 35, a little bit more than 110 bishops now in China. About 35 belonging to the underground church, who are recognized by Rome, by the Holy See, but not recognized by the government. And others, except 6, I think, those, open bishops, they all are legitimate or legitimized. So that's the things. But now answering your questions, why this happened? Since 2006, there were either no ordination or some ordination, episcopal ordinations, which were recognized by both sides, accepted by both sides. That means those bishops' candidates already approved by Holy See and also by the government. And suddenly in November 20th last year, and there was one illegitimate ordination. Even Holy See has sent out resentful message to the government, a very strong message. But the government still, move on.
And they obliged bishops to participate in this against their will.
I think this is is also these unfortunate things, of course, on one hand. But on the other hand, I think we can God let this happen so that we can see more clearly the face of the communist government.
How is that?
Because according to my analysis, the communist government is afraid of competition with religions.
They see it as a threat.
Yes. They know that now the government knows that religion will not die out. Just on contrary, they also see that more people joining the church.
Exactly.
Just opposite. So, and also they know that many people, for instance, September 11 case, happening in New York. So they are smart also. The communists are smart. They know that many people would die just for their own religion, for their own religious faith. So that's the reason why the communists are still, afraid. Of course, without making distinction, they just have this kind of mentality, the fear. And the last reason is that many, new promoted up cadres or officials, they want to show their loyalty to the communist government or communist ideologies. So they want to show their faithfulness to their own faith, the communist faith. Therefore, they just doing these kind of things. We doing the other way. So that you can see I'm very faithful to our conviction.
The question is, will we, because the faith in China is growing.
Yes,
there are now 70 million Christians, that is Protestant and Catholic.
And Catholics.
And this number is growing rapidly, if I understand correctly.
Yes.
That the Bible, for example, the greatest publication of the Bible today is in China.
Yes.
So the faith is growing. And the government is making these kind of signs to say, okay, we understand that faith is a part of the culture, but we will control it. Is that how we are to understand this?
Yes, the government wants to control. This is very common in all the communist, government, communist countries. Yeah. Therefore, from the beginning of the regime, since 1957, the communist government in China, used some nominal Catholics, to establish a patriotic association, and using this association to control the church. That's the very evidence.
But the fact that you say that now over 90% of the bishops have been reconciled with Rome, and that, if I understand correctly, a great part of this is as a consequence because the faithful themselves in China are asking their bishops to be reconciled with Rome. What does this mean for the future? It means, in fact, that the faithful themselves, the clergy themselves, are moving towards this full recognition, this full unity with Rome. And at some point, from the people themselves, will the government not have to also recognize this reality which is staring them in the face?
This is, I think, finally, these steps should be achieved. This should be achieved. Because it's no good for the bishops, no good for the church, but also will not be good for the country, no good for the government. The government wants to have stability and peace. An illegitimate bishop in China, like the last case happening in November, the bishop ordained illegitimately, will not be definitely, will not be accepted by the Catholics, lay people. I heard many cases. But this also will happen to this person also. When he appears, when the illegitimate bishop appears in certain occasions, sometimes, like saying Mass, he would be, drawn out from the church. And also sometimes physically pulled out from the church, and sometimes the people saw he appeared, then they all will leave the church. They all would leave the church. So it's let you alone to say the Mass and to do this happen. So many will leave. So there would be a face-losing case.
So even the Catholics of the official church wish to be united with Rome.
They will suffer. He will suffer if that's the case. If you are the illegitimate bishop, you face this kind of treatments from the Catholics. So you will be very lonely. You are eating bitter fruits. So what for? And at the same time, if the government is smart, they want the situation is peaceful. So why not? So let this, we have to talk to each other. So that's the reason why the Holy See always insists to hold a dialogue with the government.
Your Excellency, thank you very much for having been with us today on our program.
My pleasure, my honor.
And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for having been with us today on our program, Where God Weeps. And if you'd like to know more about the Catholics in China, or perhaps how you might be able to help, I would ask you to look at the contact information at the end of this program, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.